This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
But don't drink the positive. We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter.
Yeah, I want.
Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on.
He likes it.
It's showtime.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
So boy, that's right. It is showtime. Start talking before we hit the switch. Wednesday, and what a week it's been. Hope everybody's doing well. I got to tell you right off the bat, it's been a great week for the show. Caught a lot of attention. Not even trying to. Really happy about that. So it kept us busy all week. Kept me busy all week. Put out a little clips, as we always do. Talked about the fires in Maui last week. Again, this whole month is current events month for me. Now, for those of you who are fans of the show, you know the format. Start out, talk about a couple of little earlier things, then I either bring on a guest or I go into the subject matter that I want to do. But last week, I was all by myself. I wanted to talk about the fires in Maui. It's very important. I think it is because, the one is all and the all is one. You may not think it affects you, but we all are going to be affected by a lot of things altogether. And I come to find out that there's people that don't even, especially this week, they go, I didn't even hear anything about Maui. That was a month ago when that whole town burned down. But anyway, so I put out the clips like we always do. And a lot of people, caught on for some reason. This one little clip it was a promo. It was a 1-minute promo talking about the show to watch the show. I'm going to tell you some things. And people, I don't know why. Again, this is what I can't figure out about, the internet. Maybe the planets were lined up or whatever it was, but it caught on. And God bless you. I'm glad you're here. I am, truly. But with all the good ones, you're always going to get that small percentage of the ones, the key word for the ones that automatically are pissed off. They just don't, give it a shot, or they don't believe or don't want to believe, or they don't listen. You don't listen. I'm not telling you these are facts. I'm saying that, hey, I think there's a lot of people that aren't aware of a lot of things. And all through the month, I'm going to talk about current events, our borders, this and that. Just because you're not, if you live in mid-America, you're not in Texas feeling the pain these people are feeling of people coming over the border daily, thousands, trashing things, crime, tragedy, drugs. You just don't think about it because we're all busy. And I get it. We're all busy, man. Everybody's like swimming for your life. But I bring these things up because you need to know that it's existing and it's going to funnel towards you one way or another, sooner or later. Look at New York. They're crying over there. They're getting busloads of immigrants from the border. And now New York can't take it. A sanctuary city, we welcome everybody. Well, there you go. But they never thought it was going to actually happen, and it does. Think about those border towns, Arizona, Texas, all these places. They're getting murdered with, it's a tragedy. So I talk about these things. I do. So last week, I want to talk about Maui because something is not right. There's a lot of stuff that's not right. A lot of stuff. But, so for those, but I understand that people are busy, and I'm doing it again, but this is what I do. At least what I've been doing for these past few years, and unless they change the format, this is how I do it. Think of this show as a entertainment show, not a newscast. I know if you're new tuning in, you're expecting it's 6 o'clock. I am Peter G, and this is the news. I don't do that. I'm going to give you information, but we talk about things. And if you go to any of my past shows, there's over 300 of them. Check them out. There's musicians. I talk about life. We talk about narcissism. We talk about alcoholism. Everything. I mean, everything. It's Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show. And I'm glad you're watching. And I love people. That's why I do this. But I also found in life, you can't please everybody. And I know that a lot of people don't have time to watch. I get it. But if you love something, you will watch it. You'll take it in and listen to the podcast in your car. People do it every day. Joe Rogan does a 3-hour show talking about stuff with people. Other people. I mean, there's tons of them. You know what I'm talking about because you're watching now. I just got Misty, and Misty's new, I would think. Misty just says she's tuning in because I speak the truth. That too. But if you ask somebody else, they may say he's full of crap. I'm telling you, the people that were in disagreement this week, and I take it with a grain of salt because I promise you, even that person that's calling me an effing idiot, I probably could be friends with them. I promise you, I probably could be friends with them. I'm not that bad of a guy. I love people. I do. I rarely have issues with people. It's who I am. That's why I do this. Hey, comments are rolling in. Feel free to live comment if you're on YouTube or the official Facebook Peter G Show page. I'll try to get to them. We're going to get to a bunch of videos tonight, okay? I'm continuing the Maui stuff because I got some more videos. People are asking me, what about the children, and the people there? I'm just presenting videos for what I can get my hands on. Well, thank you. I'm telling you, the people that want to watch will watch. And I'm not always talking about the same thing, but these are important things. And I know it takes a lot of commitment to watch a long show. Let's take late night shows. Does anybody stay up late at night and watch well, they used to have, to me, they're not that entertaining anymore. But Jimmy Fallon, let's say, because he's still somewhat entertaining. He hasn't gotten, taken one side and just politically bashing everybody, whether, good or not. Let's take that. Obviously, or you wouldn't be looking with that. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, look. Late night TV, for example, because I'm a crossbreed between late night TV and daytime. I'm definitely not a newscast. I'm definitely not hard hitting and this and that. I will talk about important matters. I care about people. I found that people carry things by themselves. Divorce and single parenting is how this show started. I went through hell through a divorce, and it almost ruined me. But I'm here, and I found that shit, I'm not the only one. Everybody's been going through this crap. So you're not alone. So we talk about these things because I got through it through the grace of God and talking to friends, people. And I talked a lot about it. And then I said, you know what? People need help. Hey, Paul, finally. My IT department's finally tuning in from the South. But I found that talking about this stuff, there's a lot of people that hold things within them. And it's like, you're not alone, man or woman, people in general. So I share stories. I would start bringing people on, sharing stories. I have this unique gift, and I'm proud of it, and I'm thankful for it, that when I have people, because we used to do in-person guests and all that prior to COVID, and now it's just like, we'll get back to that, but we're just in this mode right now. But when I have people sitting in front of me, they start opening up and talking. We just have great conversations, good conversations about life and getting through it. I don't know. Larry's talking. What you got here, Larry? Larry's a newbie too. Certain events such as the Maui one have the potential to bring you millions of viewers overnight. Listen, you say that, but I think I've done a lot of shows that I thought are very important. Actually, they are very important. but people just don't know about them. Number one, YouTube has throttled me back up until this week. YouTube has banned me and they've suspended me because when COVID was around, I had doctors that were on my show talking opposite of what the general public is being told, and they didn't like it and they crucified me. So how do you get people to either love you or hate you if they don't know you exist? That's why I ask everyone, thank you for subscribing and thank you for sharing, because I'm not done. I haven't even started on this journey, even though it's been several years. I know why people quit. It's not easy. Everybody wants to be somebody. I don't even want to be somebody. I am who I am. I'm just being me with you. That's what I do. The Beatles would have never made it if it wasn't for television and Ed Sullivan. Even though they were a good band, they would have had to go from bar to bar to club to play. I can't do that. So anyway, late night television. You're watching late night TV and you turn on Jimmy Kimmel. And he comes on, you get about 3 minutes, they go to a commercial for 4.5 minutes. And then you get about 6 minutes of television, of entertainment, and then they go to commercial again for another 4 minutes. Well, I don't have all those commercials, but my show is formatted in segments. Jimmy who, exactly. Well, I'm just saying, I have to give an example. Pick your late night show host you want to watch. I don't like watching most of any of them because they've gotten so crazy. Yeah, Pepsi does know about the Maui, Paul. But the thing is, that's what kind of show I have. So if you're looking for hard hitting, you want me to come in, and get the facts, and then so you can leave, might I suggest you go through the week after the show is over, I highlight clips. I bring out 1 to 4 minute clips, 1 or 2 a day that play the highlights. That's maybe where you can get your information from, or highlights. Let's put it that way. If you don't have time for the show, that's all I can offer you. There's not enough of me to go around. Believe me, the critics, people telling me what and how to do, and I listen to my audience because I love my audience. I do, but you can't please everybody. We do the best we can, and I love you for tuning in and giving me the shot. I swear to God, stick with me. I will, let's go places together. However, last week it just blew up. Have no idea, because again, I think we do a lot of really important work talking about things. Like, again, dealing with alcoholism. You don't think that destroys lives, families, things like that? Getting the person on who's recovered, stuff like that. And we do a lot of goofy stuff too, and I like to laugh. But I'm the king of, I know funny. But we try to have a balance, because crying all the time isn't that good either. But good information, getting you through it. So again, thank you for the ones who believe and just keep on sharing. And let's do this. Let's do this. But I would have never thought that this one little promo clip would have triggered what it did, because we do that stuff every week like clockwork on every subject. We talk about the borders, and if you want to talk about current events, I talk about all that stuff. What really kills me is I've got so many comments where people going, "You're too slow. You're just 12 minutes in. You're talking. I don't hear nothing." I am the least, if anything you can say about me, I have to learn to relax. When I do the shows by myself, I relax a little bit more, because when I have guests, I have to pop things off. But it's too much, because I start stuttering like a child because my brain is going 5,000 miles an hour. But it's okay. Still good stuff, because I ask good questions, and you can see it in the interviews. But you got to give me the shot. You can't just watch for 10 minutes and go, "Oh, this guy sucks," and then you win some, you lose some. Jesus has been around for 2,000 years, and he still doesn't have everybody. So who am I to expect? But thank you. All right, real quick reminder. Again, thank you for subscribing to YouTube or Facebook official Peter G Show page, or LinkedIn Peter G Show. There's more platforms, Rumble, BitChute, 25 different podcasts. If you don't have time to watch the show, put an earbud in your ear, download Google Peter G Show podcast. There's 25 different platforms, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. I'm on all of them. You just have to give me a shot and listen. I might actually make sense to you in a weird kind of way. It's all good. Anyway, so just do that. Yeah. Misty, I think I got a new fan. I think Misty kind of likes what I do. She says, where are you? Keep being me. You're authentic. That's what captured my attention. I don't know who the hell else to be. The one thing I'm not is phony. And you can love me or hate me, but when I don't smile, it's because I ain't happy. Now, I smile a lot. I do. Majority of the time. But you can ask. I got a lot of people I'm thankful to call friends, not just acquaintances. And they can, you'll have to ask them how I am. But I don't think they'd be around if I just wasn't. But I do what I do. And I've always been this guy. Entertainment has been, whether it be music or me transferring over to this, transitioning. I'm a trans musician. Trans musician lives matter. Anyway. All right. I got a lot of video. I'm going to talk about, gotta go. I got to do this. In about 2 minutes, we're going to go hear from my good friends over at Clean Start Products with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver. And as soon as we come back, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of what you're basically here for. Here, check this out, and I'll be right back.
Let us help you with the high price of fuel. Hello, I'm Ty Thompson at CleanStarProducts.com. We can optimize your engine, saving you money and gas. Here's how. Our program works the same with gasoline and diesel engines. Whether you're using a car pack or SUV pack, the instructions are the same. Add 1 bottle to your engine oil, and each time you change your oil, add 1 bottle to the fuel tank each and every fuel fill-up. It's that easy. You get 10% fuel economy on average, lower emissions, and increased horsepower. DX1 sells for $2 an ounce, so for just a few dollars a fuel tank, you can optimize your engine, saving you money and gas. Come on, give it a try. It's the finest green-grade oil in the world from a California environmental company. You're going to feel it when you drive. Order online today. We'll get it out right away. CleanStarProducts.com/shop.
That's right, CleanStarProducts.com. They'll speak to you if you want to know more about them because they actually have a product that works, people. Let's face it. Cars are expensive. Gas, it's over $5.50 a gallon here in California. Believe me, I'm getting one step closer to leaving the scene every day. Why not save money, take care of your car, and keep that money in your pocket? Go to CleanStarProducts.com. They'll tell you anything you need to know about their product. Again, it not only saves you money and fuel economy, better horsepower, cleaner emissions. It's who corrected me? I say lubricity, and somebody corrected me on the word, but you get the picture. It just helps your car and take care of your body, and your body will take care of you. Same thing. Go to Clean Start Products, talk to them, let them know that you heard it on the Peter G Show. Let them know I'm actually doing something because remember, they know what I do and they still sponsor me. So God bless them. Speaking of God bless them, where are we at here? Well, we don't need that. Take that. Let's talk about Maui. I talked about it last week, and I'm getting videos that people kind of go, hey, you should check this out. Hey, you should check this out. That's what I've been doing, okay? And people go, I need facts. There aren't, if they were facts, things in this whole country, if we could prove, and well, not prove, but nobody takes anything seriously. There's so many lies going on about everything. You just can't believe anything. Now, tonight I'm going to really get into like the direct energy weapons because a lot of fires are being claimed to be started by this in the name of climate change. They can't prove it, unless you saw it. Things like all these fires starting up. But the thing is, somebody said to me, it goes, oh, those videos, that's all AI. You fell for it. It's like, see, the twist again. You don't know whether it's real or fake. You don't know what to believe. So all I'm doing is putting thoughts in your head to be aware. And then as time goes on, believe me, you start catching on, you start getting smarter, and things start coming together, and all this will unravel eventually. I'm just bringing this stuff to your attention because for the ones who do know what's going on, there's many who have no clue what's going on. Not a clue. Because they're busy working in their lives, and the news isn't saying anything. The news never says nothing. They just repeat what they're being told to say. It's a shame, and that's the problem. People believe the news, and the news is not what it used to be. So it's all crap. I'm going to give you a quick. This is like a public service to introduce you to what DEW, direct energy weapons, are. And after that, we're going to lead into some videos and things that get into the island. But let's that just for people who've never heard of these things. They've been around for decades. They're perfecting them more and more. Space wars, all this kind of stuff. Believe me, we've got this stuff. They just don't brag about it. They don't want us to know because it's called secret weapons. Well, they're using them for more things than just secret weapons right now. But check out this little info on DEW, direct energy weapons, and then we'll be right back.
The recent fires in California, Australia, and now Hawaii are unlike anything we've ever seen before. They are being called forest fires and wildfires, but they are clearly something very different. These fires are burning homes into a white powdery ash footprint, while often leaving the surrounding green trees and shrubs practically untouched. In extreme cases, forest fires can reach temperatures up to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, and the melting point of aluminum is 1,220 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is possible for an extreme forest fire to melt aluminum. But there are cars with puddles of melted aluminum that were clearly not in the wildfire area. And melted glass, which has a melting point around 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. These are unexplained anomalies. In the California fires of 2018, cars were randomly bursting into flames on the freeway with no surrounding fires. We've seen these same anomalies in New York City on September 11th, 2001. Cars completely burned out with no explanation. In Maui, these unnatural fires spared the homes of the rich while burning the native homes of the working class. With precision, these fires destroyed the most envied, high-valued areas of Maui. For decades, directed energy weapons have been classified, but they have been on the public record for several years now. Directed energy weapons, known as DEWs, have the ability to burn homes with this sort of precision. But in order to be this precise, the area would have to be mapped out. In January of this year, green lasers were seen over Hawaii, which could best be described as a geospatial array for mapping terrain. We have seen that among the ashy ruins, there are blue-colored objects that have somehow survived the devastation. Blue cars, blue umbrellas, a blue boat, blue planters. Videos online are going viral that show how lasers can easily burn through certain colored objects, but objects that are colored blue remain unharmed. Directed energy weapons include lasers, millimeter wave, and microwave. They are all based on light frequencies, and different wavelengths of light affect colors differently. For example, in laser tattoo removal, different wavelengths are used for removing different colors. And this is because color is a quality of light. Each color has its own frequency. Interestingly enough, the frequency of the color blue is 6.66. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
That's just a little introduction as to what lasers do. And they've got them. They've got them mounted on giant planes. They've got them in satellites. And again, I know this all sounds fantastic, and I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm saying there's a lot of theories going on because fires have been going on for centuries, and there's a science to it as how things burn. And if you don't think that people do things for manipulative reasons, go ask the Indians. And they were given blankets in our past history, laced with smallpox. They wanted that land. I love Hawaii. I mean, I love Tahiti too, but I love a lot of places. I love Pacific Islanders. I think they're cool people. I mean, God, what a lifestyle to be living on that kind of an island and just, that cruising. They have a good philosophy, but they're also, just like they're native, islanders. And if people want something, they can't get it the way they would like to try to get it, they'll take it. It's just a rough, world out there. But I'm just putting this out there. So these fires happen, okay? I talked about it last week. I showed you a video about a guy who was showing two cars in the middle of a big wide open lot with hardly any grass, that these cars practically melted. Well, here's an update from somebody else talking about these cars on how it doesn't make sense on how these cars burned and nothing else around them. And so check this one out.
So I just had this video sent to me where this car was melted on Maui, and I'm going to show y'all where exactly it is. So as you see, I've started updating a couple of pin marks, and I'll be going through those in future videos. But here's the exact spot of the two cars. I'm looking at the spot and I don't see anything that shows, unusual, except for the fact that nothing is burnt around it. Unlike when you go to Liliana and it is torched in there. Here's the buildings on that. By the way, there is the image date is August 12th. Last week I also stumbled on this video that came from Washington Post of saying how there was power lines that caused this image here. But this video is at Maui's Bird Center. Now you see there's the flash and then the camera goes berserk. And then after you see there's a fire started. But now let's go check the Bird Center here, because there's a couple of things that are odd to me. They state that it was power lines, but there's no power lines going through those woods. This is where the power lines are. I'll drop the man there and show you. So here's looking across. I don't see anything in the woods. And now I'll show you where the power lines actually are, all the way down the road, and you can see the power lines going through the woods. That's what those lines are on the map. And for y'all who get into dew, well, I don't know if you know this, but there's a location at the top of the mountain in Maui. And before you say I'm full of it, you can go there yourself to AFRL, and then you can check out the direct energy as well as their video. Now this spot drew interest to me because all these dark spots. And when you look at the old map, that's how it looked. But now it's like that. And then right next to the park is this, which you see used to look like that. So, what's that dark spot? Now some of these spots are definitely trees. Some of them, like I just showed you at that park, just doesn't make sense. Now I don't know if I believe that it's lasers and things like that. However, I do want to crush one thing. Y'all are all familiar with hearing the blue car and blue things. Well, there's a lot of green spots. There's other type of houses. There's even a house there. Heck, I've even found this one on a still image of a red Corvette sitting there. As well as green tarps back there that's not burned. So while I might not get into the whole entire blue thing, I might divulge into the lasers. However, one other thing is I am still investigating. I am finding spots that I know is going to eventually be blurred out. And if you're wondering how I found the cars, the gentleman in the video says that there was a football stadium here, and also I could see the house that was here. So if I drop the little man there, this is where the two cars would have been. Also, this image here is from September of 2011. And you see the house. As you see, there's the house. Now, if you have a spot that you would like me to go see, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I fully expect eventually some areas to be blurred out, and I'm trying to save that information so I can see what was there, you know, if I need to.
Again, there's people that are curious. They're checking this stuff out and they're doing their homework as opposed to just saying, oh, well, there's a fire. It's because you weren't in it. You're alive to talk about it. A lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. How these cars could practically get reduced to ash, you know, by the water. I'm getting comments, you know, what about the fires, you know, in other places? Yeah, there's I believe that these all have a lot of things in common. Right now, I'm focusing on Maui because it's the most current one, but make no mistake, California fires, the fires in Canada. I just did a little thing, maybe it was last night. It's like, you know, fires start with arson, people with matches. You know, okay, yeah, you could have a live wire. That's a good way to cover it all up. The live wire hit it. I mean, and that stuff does happen. But explain the way things burn, the ash. They know how hot a fire has to be. I mean, they're telling you in these videos to reduce things to melt glass has to be super hot. And most fires don't get that hot, especially that guy that's showing those 2 cars that burned in the middle of a lot. There's nothing there. There's no fuel. There's nothing to make, even if it was gasoline and it exploded, it's still not enough to continually make it that hot to make glass melt. So, you know, is there monkey business? Could there be monkey business? I'm just saying, yeah, there could be. You decide. But I'm bringing this stuff out, and that's, you know, you figure it out. I'm just presenting these things because people have put in the time to show this stuff, and I'm showing it to you for some who may have not seen this stuff. Some people go down the rabbit hole, and they've done deep dives, and they may know way more. I'm just getting my hands on what's being submitted to me, and if it sounds good, I present it. But check this out. This is the same guy with a little more update.
Google Maps has updated its images of Maui, of where it was burnt. So I want to show you the images, but I want to show you one spot first of asking, how did this place get set on fire? You see, the buildings are burnt there, but there's dirt all around here. In fact, there's even the baseball fields of where it's green with grass, while these other areas are burnt. This is how far away it was, is almost a quarter of a mile away. So how did fire burn that place down, but not the grass? Or what about this spot where there's 2 burnt cars? Y'all have seen the video of that. Because as I zoom out, you see that the buildings and everything are fine in the area. So how did they burn so bad that it was like molten metal? Why is realtors going onto YouTube in the areas to where the fire took place, showing houses that stayed and houses that was burnt down? And as you see him pan to this one, well, what is this? This is grass with a burnt down house. In fact, look at this one that I just paused on. There's a kid's toy, plastic, still sitting there. Grass, but house is demolished and burnt down. Could someone tell me these things? Why? I'll be going live at 4 o'clock. Take care.
Just observations, things to think about. Because I always said when they said a plane went into the Pentagon, it didn't feel right. Nothing absolutely completely disintegrates. This has to be parts. Where's the luggage? Where's this? They said it was all gone. It all just disintegrated. And they're still questioning that. And you can take it, you know, even the Twin Towers, unfortunately. I don't buy it. It's horrific. It's so horrific. You said nobody would do something like that, but sorry. And again, I that's just my opinion, okay? It's sad, but true. The world we live in. I know that he's showing, like, why did this burn? And it's all dirt. Now, I've been around fires living here in California. Embers can fly. Hot embers can fly a long distance and ignite things. And even if that may have been the case, I still question on why things burned so hot. And then things, because again, that plastic thing he was showing, if the fires were that hot to where white ash, it was reducing things to white ash, not just dark, you know, burns. that thing should have been melted. It should have been. But when something gets zapped super fast, it just eviscerates it. And it doesn't have time. It does so much damage so quickly, it's over. Again, just pointing things out. This is a guy who captured some stuff, and this is where it starts getting, you can either believe it or not believe it. For people who had supposedly took it from their phone, showing these lasers hitting things. And again, somebody's going to say, oh, it's AI, it's all fake, it's all baloney. Whatever. Take it in your head or just walk away. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just presenting it because if these things didn't actually exist, I might say, well, that's ridiculous. But we know it exists. Or at least if you don't know it exists, believe me, they do. There's videos. You go look it up. But you won't take the time. But unfortunately, it's being used for the wrong reasons. But check this out with this guy. I don't know if he's in Australia or he just has an Australian accent, but he's explaining some things. And I guess he's in pretty deep because he's getting harassed too. But check it out.
Okay, I'm just going to video my own screen because they delete everything and take all the videos down. So I'm just going to video the screen itself and then I've got a copy of it. This is the Maui fires with a direct energy weapon, which they said didn't happen. Pretty damning to me, to be honest. What do I know? I'm just stupid. We all are, apparently.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it looks like a normal wildfire, actually. This video doesn't have any sound, or there was one that did. Look at the houses, they're all burnt down, but the trees are all standing. So it's a pretty discriminate forest fire. Everything's burnt down, but not the trees. Every building's gone. And then, I'm not sure if we see it in this video, stuff with blue, anything with blue, umbrellas, etc., didn't burn. That doesn't burn because it's a direct energy weapon. I'm only videoing my screen because they delete everything off my computer and my phone. So I'm now going to save this down to a hard drive because we're going to need to repost this again and again and again. Scumbags. And we all know who it was because we all know who owns the weapons. And we all know who makes the weapons. Lockheed Martin. And the biggest investors in the company are Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, and Fidelity, which is owned by the Vatican. So I told you they were messing with my computer. I just tried to upload the photos of Maui. It's telling me on my own computer that it doesn't recognize my device. I wonder why.
That's somebody from somewhere completely different. Talking about what he thinks, sees. I mean, your eyes, again, but now this whole AI thing, everybody's going to get, they're going to confuse. That's it. Create so much confusion that you just don't know what to believe. And, Obama said the thing, if you throw enough trash out, nobody will know what to believe. And that's exactly what they're doing. And he even admitted it, but, he was making it like a funny thing, but that they really meant it. They really meant it. And to think, if you don't think these lasers, like you in the first video, was showing that how they think that they strategically mapped it out with lasers, mapping out the terrain, That's so easily doable. What do you call it? Garbage dumps. They do it all the time. When they're making dump, they map the land out, and their trucks, when they're grading and things like that, big construction, they do it through laser mapping of geographical laser mapping. Well, you program these computers and you tell these lasers where to hit. Boom, 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 boom. For the most part, it's like surgically and strategically doing, saving some of the trees. We don't want to wipe everything out. Some things are going to get collateral damage that they can't make it perfect. But explain to me how, again, all these cars and the boats on the water, they're on the water, all blowing up, all of them. Boom, boom, boom. One zap. Go get a magnifying glass and hold it in the sun and hold it to your hand for a second. Tell me how long you can do it for. And then times a gazillion with these things that they're building. Just saying. Let's talk about the people of Maui. I saw Oprah last week. I talked about how Oprah was doing the People of Maui's Fund or whatever the hell it is, and she's catching all kinds of hell. So she never answered the question. She went on CBS, and they kissed her ass, as always. CBS is, I guess I'll never get to work for them because they're not going to like me. But she never answered the question on, because people were bagging on her for the whole thing. She's bought up thousands of acres this year alone. And there's a little twist at the end. I know we're all talking land grabs and all that. And I know they're talking 15-minute cities. We're going to talk about that. But just last night, and I mean, I'm up late doing this stuff. Just last night, one little twist for your consideration. And that'll be at the end of the show. But there's another possibility of what's going on in Maui and why. And, Oprah, like I said, she bought thousands of acres. And a lot of it's mountainside and things like that, too. And I'm going, no, you can't really build on that. Kinda, but it's not over. Just things to think about. Let's talk about the Maui people now, what they're going through and the problems they're having. This is where are we? An elderly man trying to they wouldn't let, I told you, they sectioned everything off. They completely curtained it off. You can't see in. FEMA, or supposedly they're FEMA, went in there and they were just, who knows what they were erasing evidence. I truly believe that they would not let people get back to their own property, and it's a month now. Okay. And this was probably, 2 weeks ago, but check out this elderly man. He's, he knows what's going on, and but he's respectful, an islander, but check this out.
This meeting does not stand as valid. And
hang on. I don't want to shortchange you here. This is the guy.
His escort.
I request your recognition of my rights in my territory.
Okay, for this moment right now, this is a line that can't be crossed at this moment, okay?
Yeah, I beg to differ with you, officer, and I know that likely you're in a dilemma. However, you must realize that this is my territory and my rights to have free access to my territory.
Okay.
It is the law.
Right now we're just going to hold the line for a moment here. We've got to take care of some things.
For a moment. So you're going to let him in a moment?
Officer, that is not your business, is not my business. My territory is my business.
Yeah.
South ACP?
No, I'm tapped.
You're tapped?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. South ACP? Yeah. Okay, that's good. And, okay, so then we'll need one more.
So police are breaking the law by not allowing, I forget what section that is, but not allowing Bill Jones on his own territory this morning.
Yeah. And what are you going to do? They're following orders, and they're brainwashed too. They only know what they're told. And what are you going to do? Unless you have thousands of people getting together just saying they can't take us all, and you just rush them and just run them over. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, just, blow by them. What are you going to do? He's old. They got guns. They got, police. Again, not all police are bad. They're just following their orders, but it sucks. And, they're going to have to live with that too. Just like these doctors and all that with COVID who, getting pressured into doing things that they know is probably not right. But that's a whole nother show for me to get suspended on. We'll get into that too in the weeks go by because, they're ramping up again to start. Anyway, I want to get started. Here's the next video. This is people from the town. They're at a town meeting. They've had enough. But, again, unless they all stand together and everybody's in shambles right now, what are you going to do? But it's all going to come out eventually. I truly believe that in this day and age, as much as hard as they're trying, we're going to all band together because eventually enough is going to be enough. So, where are we? Check this guy out. Here we go.
This meeting does not stand as valid, and you have no authority, Nani, to do what you guys are doing here. Take the meeting back to the county of Maui.
We don't want to be living in housing. We don't want to go into a little rural area where it's subjected to what? Poverty. That's what you guys do to us.
This is a warning to everyone who knows the unjust that's been done in this emergency proclamation. The emergency that I see today is Lahaina.
You are not representing the people, and that has to change.
Don't sit here in a round table and make decisions for the majority, because you are very much the minority.
Governor Josh Green made a cameo at that meeting and then conveniently dipped out before it was time to hear from the community. Hawaii native BJ Penn, former UFC champ, was in rare form. Watch.
Just want to remind you guys that you guys work for us. We come here to talk about something and then you guys start fighting back with us. You work for us. You don't talk to your boss like that, right? Who talks to their boss like that? Look at Josh Green, how weak man. What happened? I came inside, what? He got to go check his bevities? What is going on? He only signs the bill to further his political career. So what is next? He let go for president. And that's what you guys look for. Oh, that's the guy I look up to. The guy who screws everybody over to get to the top. Come on. That's not what Hawaii is about. Aloha is the law.
They're going to bitch and complain, and they need to not back down. But, these guys, they're the government. They got plans. There's plans. They've been planning stuff for ages. And it's finally going into effect. And it's either we the people or they're going to lose. I mean, these people have been burned out, murdered, killed in fires. Everybody's asking about the children and, the facts, the media blackout. They don't say nothing to the media. And if they do feed them some crumbs, it's all bullshit. It's all crap. Here is somebody from the Maui Times. She's an editor, I think, from the Maui Times, and she's going to tell you flat out what's going on. She can't get any information. Check this out.
About the reality of the Lahaina fire is incredibly frustrating for me because I am the media. I am the editor of Maui Times, and I have tried relentlessly to get direct information from the county of Maui as well as the Maui Police Department. Both entities have been radio silent and have not responded to any of my calls or emails over the past few days. I also spoke to Maui police officers in person in Lahaina, and they all denied me my First Amendment right to freedom of the press by denying me access to Lahaina town as well as denying me information. They even sent me on a wild goose chase trying to find their media coordinator who had conveniently gone home for the day by the time I found where he was supposed to be. So it is not the media who is lying to you because I am obligated to only report what has been confirmed. Who's lying to you is the government entities who are trying to cover their asses and not take accountability for how grossly mismanaged this entire situation has been. Maybe if we make this go viral, I'll actually get a response from them.
Editor of the Maui Times. I guess she's on the up and up. She wants to know what's going on. That's her land. She lives there. Again, people, this could happen to any town USA. It is actually, they're doing it in so many different ways. They're flooding us with illegal, migrants and immigrants, and they're just taking us down. I'll get into that next week. But right now, we're talking about this. I've been getting so many people comments through the week. And again, I can't read thousands of comments, but I try. What about the children? There's been rumor that thousands of children are missing. What about the children? What about the parents of the children? There's no information. There's nothing going on. They say there's only 100 and something people, they're confirmed dead. That's not possible. They have total control and they're manipulating everything. And then they're just going to scoop it all up and sweep it all away. You're never going to know the truth of really what the outcome was. Again, I played those videos last week, and there was a video where they claimed that some ex-militaries came in there on on those, raft boats and, went in there and kind of took control of a lot of things. I don't doubt that's happening. You're never going to hear that stuff on the news. But then a lot of people are questioning. It's like, well, ex-military can't arrest anybody. I think the guy just kind of worded it a little wrong when he says he arrested them. I think they took control over things and to help some things out. But we're never going to know what's really going on over there. Even the winners, even the good people that's doing things, it's just not going to happen yet. But I believe that there's people that know way more than we know, and they're going, screw this. This is our country. What's going on? But then again, the WEF and the Soros and all that, they got different plans for us. But we're not going to let that happen, right? Keep sharing and subscribing. Let's keep getting stronger. I'm not going to talk about this every week, but believe me, I'll give you what you need. I always touch on stuff. Even when I have guests and talk about different topics, I'm always at the end of the month going back to one show at least a month for me to talk about current events because I care about this, what's going on. I live here. I care about what goes on everywhere because, again, it all affects everything. So the children. People want to know about the children. I know that if anybody's the impatient ones, they go, "Will you get on with it?" Here's a video of. I got this from a show on Rumble, and I had to go looking because I wasn't getting any information. And this is from a guy who has a show. I don't even know. I mean, I'm on Rumble, but I'm hardly making a dent on Rumble yet. But he has a show, and his name is Pete Santil. So the Pete Santil Show, and he had a journalist on there. And this is a piece of that when he asked about when the journalist started talking about the children. So check this out, and thanks to the clip from the Pete Santil Show. And I should have my acting together. It's the wrong one. Here we go. Pete Santil. Children. Here we go.
The thing that I've been trying to focus the most on have been what happened to the children. Why aren't they telling us how many children are missing or dead? I don't understand that.
Well, here's my question. I'm sorry to interrupt. You bring up a great point. Why are they not mentioning it? What I have not heard is that there's children missing. I heard that news report. It was on the news, right? The children are missing. What's even more anomalous is I haven't heard of parents that were missing children. So we've got three categories here. We got the media saying that children were missing, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
The media said children were missing. The government isn't saying anything. The reports, the updates, the FEMA, the emergency management people aren't reporting on the children that are missing. And the parents aren't saying my child's missing. Well, all three of those are weird.
Right. Yeah, they're very weird. I was able to speak with some parents that, parents and grandparents actually, where the entire, the set of grandparents that I was speaking with back late last week, the entire family was missing as well. Like, the parents were missing, the children were missing. So there are going to be at a very minimum, there's going to be a lot of, we're still talking between 750 to 1,000 people that are unaccounted for by official counts. And we don't know, they're very slow to identify people and declaring people dead. When I got there on the 18th, there were 110 confirmed deaths. Now there are 115, but we've still got all these missing people. And don't get me wrong, and I've spoken with forensic pathologists about this as well. If they find cadavers, which they have so far supposedly found 115 cadavers, they can get an approximate age to be able to know, approximately how old that human being was. But they're not giving us any information when it comes to ages and such. And that's, again, fueling conspiracy theories. They know the answer to this. They know how many children are missing. They know how many are dead. Why not just tell us? Instead of, we could squash all these narratives and conspiracy theories with just those numbers. It's not difficult for them. Just do it.
That guy is actually on the ground. He was there because it was a long interview with that Pete Santil show had that journalist on there, and It was about a lot of stuff, but I couldn't do it all. But that was the gist of it. And he was there. He was going in there, and he left the island and then came back again to do more. But this is the stuff I have to deal with. Rich says, you don't even believe the S you say. Rich, bullshit. I do believe the stuff I say. But I try to be not as offending to people who don't believe. Because I realize that you catch more bees with honey than you do just, telling them they're effing idiots for not believing the way I believe. I don't expect everybody to believe the same. I'm putting it out there to let you decide. That's it. You don't believe? Go. Doesn't matter, but you won't. You won't. Because you got to see what else I'm going to do. And I'm not that crazy. But there is a side of me that says, screw you. But I'm not, because, dude, we might be able to have beers together. But we just, we're on different pages. 10 years ago, if you had told me this 10 years ago, I'd tell you you're out of your mind. Because one of my closest friends, when Obama was president, and we're really tight. We go way back. And we're sitting on wherever we were. And he said, and he's talking about this stuff. And he goes, I can tell by the look on your face, you're kind of like, because he didn't like Obama at all. And Obama was a good talker. And I kind of fell for it for most of those years. But he dripped on me, and he respected the fact that I just wasn't there with what he was saying. And I don't even know how I came around, but I came around, and here I am. But the thing is, things change, man. Things change. Come on, man. I'm pulling a Biden. So if you don't agree, that's fine. Don't agree. I'm just putting it out there for those who question. I question everything now. Even when I go to the regular doctor, we're getting older. It's like, maintenance, right? I feel good, but still go to a doctor. And I question him because everybody's gotten lazy. We just go through life. They throw pills at you. It's a whole nother show. But either way, Rich, I respect your opinion for telling me I don't even believe the shit, but I have to say you're wrong on that. I do believe in what I say. I'm just not saying it with a whole lot of conviction at times because I'm trying to be courteous to the people who are on the fence. I don't want to scare people off. I'm offering you to listen. And if you don't believe it, I say that's great. Just always keep it in the back of your head because it may come around again. You go, damn, I remember when he said something like that. And look at that shit. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? That's all. So, but I thank you for watching. I got tons of great shows. All kinds of stuff that you might not think I believe in. But if I didn't believe in them, I wouldn't be doing it. I'm not doing this as everybody goes. It's just baloney, trying to make money. No. It's what I do because I love what I'm doing. And we all have to make money. We have to live, right? What do you do for a living? You do it for free? I love what I do. Because to me, if it helps one person feel better, not just this topic, any topic, it helps one person feel better, I did something that most would just not even think about doing. Period. End of story. Let's move on. So you just saw where he talked about the children. And a lot of people got these theories. Oprah took the children in the tunnels and all that. There's supposedly tunnels in Maui. Don't really know. I know that there are, but this is what I have for you. If I get better videos and things like that, maybe I'll present them too. But I'm just saying, he's saying that they still don't know. They're not talking about it. He says 1,000 children, but one is one too many. And the parents, again, if they're all dead, they can't speak against anybody. That's how cruel, like I said, this world is. So just keep that in. So there's where the children are, as far as I know, as far as the information I've got. But that's that. Now let's talk about those 15-minute cities, all right? Because this is where the theory is, a land grab. And it just might be, because they're talking about the stuff. They want everybody huddled, stacked on top of each other, kind of like in China or New York. And then you're all right there. They keep you right there. And if you're on digital money, if they do something wrong, they just cut off your money and you got nothing to spend. Or, I mean, total control. Control is the key word here, folks. Control. But, I'm just voicing my opinion, and in case that thought has not come to you, as many thought doesn't come to us, but a lot of people are awake. Check this out. This is about the 15-minute cities, a little bit of FYI.
15-minute cities, they will have to have those before they can lock you down. So in Great Britain, some county already passed legislation. They will be able to impose a climate lockdown. That's the next step. So in order to do that, they will have to have these 15-minute cities. The next step then, of course, will be you are only allowed to leave your immediate area for, let's say, 2 or 3 times a year. So, but there's other people that may have more money, and they can actually buy your passings off of you. So guess what? The poor people will be left in these 15-minute neighborhoods, while the ones that are better off get to go wherever they want to go. Look at Saudi Arabia, for instance. They're pulling up Neom City. They call it the Line. So this is like a structure in the middle of the desert, 200 kilometers long, 200 meters wide, 500 meters high, and it will house up to 9 million people. If I wanted to get total control of the people, that's exactly where and how I would house them. And then having them on a 3 meals a day prescription, well, guess what will happen if you do not do as you are told? They will probably cancel that. It's so easy. It will be a complete impoverishment and enslavement of all the people.
They've got this plan. They've talked about it, but we don't pay attention. But, again, they've been trying. They put this stuff has taken them half a century to put together because they failed at it a half a century ago. But they never give up. They keep on recharging. They got slaughtered, and then they just slowly regroup, kind of like the Taliban. They got put out of business, and now they're just slowly growing. Hell, it's not hard to do when you're giving them everything. 80 billion in friggin' weapons. They've enriched themselves. They're growing. I'm not crazy. And that's fact. Not about the crazy part, but about the weapons being left behind. Biggest blunder. And we're gonna feel it. Just a matter of everybody getting comfortable, and then they're gonna hit us again. Anyway. Just to let you know that this stuff doesn't only happen here. I'm not just focusing on Maui. I mean, Turkey just had the country of Turkey had a really bad wildfire as well. And this video is from Turkey, and I just cut it to show you. They're showing lasers hitting spots over there too. Somebody with a phone just captured it. Again, believe it or not, here it is. That's from Turkey. Again, I'm just showing you what was sent to me. These things will come out eventually. If it's bullshit, it's baloney. I didn't mean to say bullshit. Sorry. I get wound up, and I do swear. Somebody wrote and they said, "God, I wish you didn't swear," and I didn't really, and I didn't say anything too bad. But it's colorful and it gets the point across, and I don't think it's a form of ignorance. Somebody said to me once, swearing is a form of ignorance. I go, I disagree. I just think it's a different way to translate the effect of what you're trying to say. I think it really gets the message across sometimes, because you can say certain words and the way you say it affects the way it's being taken. And I don't want to start with the examples, but that was in Turkey. Now, one more thing. Morocco had an earthquake just recently, also this week. For those of you who don't know, they had a really bad earthquake. Really bad. Really, really bad. And they claim to have seen some kind of lightning in the sky before the earthquake hit. And again, this all sounds fantastic. I said last week on the show that when that tsunami hit in Indonesia, and I found out it was 2014, when it came and it just went across. I mean, people did not, if you weren't 3-4 floors up, you're gone. It wiped out and buried people because it went all the way across. It was that big, and it just, what they lose, like 20,000 people or more? And that's a long time. My father said to me, I was home visiting at the time, and he says, yeah, he says, but the government's got things that make things happen nowadays. I mean, they can make things happen. In other words, these weapons of, these new type of technologies. And I just looked at him because I didn't really kind of believe him, but I didn't disbelieve him. Well, my father, was a fairly intelligent man. He was definitely up on his histories and cared about things like that. And he paid attention to a lot more things like that, because at that time I was a touring musician and I was just home for a little while and I'd be back doing wherever I was going. But he's probably right. Same thing. Earthquakes, things like that. They're claiming they got these, weapons, coming out of Antarctica and things like that, disruptive weapons that can do that. And you believe it if you want or not. And this is in Morocco. They're showing the lightning right before the earthquake or something like that. Here you go.
At least 820 people have died after a powerful earthquake struck Morocco. The 6.8 magnitude quake struck at about 11 p.m. on Friday night. Buildings in the historic city of Marrakesh, more than 40 miles away from the epicenter, collapsed, and people slept in the streets for safety. The death toll is expected to rise as rescuers reach rural areas closer to the center of the quake.
Again, is it AI? Is somebody pulling our legs? Or did somebody happen to capture things that most people don't end up seeing in the middle of the night or something like that because it's that fast? We're talking about the speed of light for most of this stuff. I mean, that's how lasers work. Food for thought. All these fires are not starting just because of, they're putting it all on climate change, people. Climate change. Fires don't start because of climate change. They don't. They don't. Fires start because some way, shape, or form somebody starts it. Or an anomaly. But they don't just start because of it's really hot out or it's really cold out. It's that simple. But you keep on throwing money at climate change, and people are getting rich from being the receivers of all this money. It's all like hey, we're going to do this. I'm going to pay you this. You're going to make all this crap. And it's not going to do anything, but we're going to keep doing it for years. There's facts out there, but nobody will go check out the facts. Now, here's the grand finale for the videos, I feel. For this whole month, in my mind, it was land grab, land grab, land grab. 15-minute cities in Maui. They want to make that place. They want the natives won't sell, so we'll have a tragedy. This is in theory, my opinion. All of a sudden, a tragedy hits, and what are you going to do? It's all gone now. We're going to have to clear it out. Most people can't afford to rebuild. With that $700 that Biden gave each family. So generous. Billions are going over to Ukraine. Pisses me off. But this is where it's going. That's why we got to change all this real soon. United we stand, people. It's been said several times tonight. I always say that anyway. But if you think that our lives in this country is doing really, really well, you need to check yourself. Or keep watching this show and maybe you'll learn something. By chance. Just my opinion. I am Peter. This video was brought last night, and I kept thinking land grab. Because it makes sense. If they want that area to do that, sure. And they can't get all the older, natives out of there, all the islanders out of that area, because it's far from the tourist area, and they want to build it up, and then they can stack them all up over there and make them live there and then go to work into the tourist areas. But this was brought to my attention last night, and I never would have thought this because I never heard of this, and I don't even know if it's true. But then I'm thinking about Oprah owning all this mountainous property that she just bought thousands of acres of this year. And I'm thinking, what's she going to do with that? Privacy is one thing, but she's got a lot of it. And then this video came to mind late last night. Like, God was trying to tell me something. Check it out.
120 million tons of lithium in Maui. I don't think we need to wonder why they did what they did there and why it happened. We all know computers are getting big, cars are getting big, and lithium works for batteries. It wasn't an accident, people. Somebody with some money wanted some more money.
Lithium. I don't know if it's true or not. First I'm hearing of it. But I'll tell you one thing. No matter how much time they take to let the land, they had to spray, they supposedly, and and it's going to be contaminated, and they're going to make up all kinds of excuses to make sure that nobody gets that land. But by chance, through time, all of a sudden, there could be this possibility of, while we were doing this land, trying to get it back up to habitable standards, we came across this lithium strike. Possibility. If they do that, well, then you're going to know that they already knew, and this is another reason what it's all about. Big, big money. Big money. So got to get rid of everything over there because we got new plans. There's lithium in them thar hills. Not saying for sure. Don't know where this video came from, but he made it. And I'm listening, and I'll keep it in the back of my head, which I hope you will too. And a time will come out. It never fails. When I start looking into things, more things keep coming to me. So we'll find out. We'll see what's happening. A lot of comments, that's the thing. Is I can't keep up with them all, and I'll read a lot of them later. I'll take the time. But again, I want to thank everybody for the newbies, all the new people, and please share. Subscribe to my YouTube channel or the official Facebook Peter G. The Facebook Peter G Show channel is where it all started, and then I started branching out. I didn't just stick to one place, and I'm spread out all over the place. But you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, even on Twitter or X, Threads. But you won't find the full shows. All the short clips definitely on Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Don't forget BitChute for the full shows and Rumble. You can subscribe, but subscribe, share. Just help me out. Help a brother out. And I know you're paying attention to the Maui show, and I'm glad it struck a nerve. I had no idea. I was just doing what I'm doing. But I think I got a lot of other great shows too, and I'm not like begging by no means, but I think it's like, if you don't know what exists, how are you going to know? So please go check out other stuff. And again, next week I'll still be talking about this whole month. I'm talking about current events because I'm pissed. I don't like all the fentanyl deaths. People's lives are just tragically, being lost, and nobody's doing anything about it. Our upper government, they know, and it's affecting families, ruining families. I can't even imagine, your child, and you could have a grade A student that just for some reason does something, thinking he's doing something else. Doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong, because I got one guy that said, if your kid's doing something stupid, well, then he deserves it. It's like, screw you. Like you've never done nothing in your life. Made a mistake. Stuff happens, man. Kids are kids. Adults are adults still making dumb mistakes. We all do. But I care. So I talk about this stuff. So please join me each and every week. And if you miss the shows, they're on demand. You can watch them afterwards. I love when you watch live. I love all the commenting. God bless you for taking the time out of your life to pay attention. You have no idea what it means to me. I will take you with me as we grow. Proud of that. I know it's hard to watch something. People are busy. You got lives, kids, work, staying up late, got to get up early. It's a hustle. But you took the time and you watched, and I truly appreciate it because I put a lot of time and effort all through the week, day and night, to do this. I'm small potatoes. I need to grow, to get some help in here, to do bigger, better shows for you. Everything comes in time, but I don't back down. And I love you for hanging in there. Don't forget, again, subscribe. Don't forget, if you don't have time to watch the show, Google Peter G Show Podcast. And we're on 25 different platforms. You can listen to the show on the go. It's the next best thing to being there. I want to thank my sponsor, Clean Start Products, with their DX1 driver, for knowing what I do and still sponsoring me. I need more sponsors, though, because money makes the world go round. Again, I'll bring better shows. It's not going all in my pocket. Believe me. Believe me. However, that's how it works. I've dug into my own pocket to be here and still am because I believe in what I do. So thank you. Next week, I will be talking about current events again. Might not be as much Maui. Don't know if things change. I don't want to run it into the ground. But then again, we're making progress. I can see that. So God bless all of you for making it make the progress. I could not do it without you. It's all about you. The whole reason I do this is for people. Hell, I hear myself talk every single day. But I believe what I'm saying. I hope you do too. The jokes are free too. Love you. See you next Wednesday. Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And again, you can catch all this stuff on demand and the short clips. I thank you, and especially the ones taking the time to comment and all that. I'll get to them, but it's almost impossible. If I miss you, please forgive me. It's impossible to catch everything. But believe me, I'm watching too, and I hope you'll stick with me. All right, we're new relationships. Hi, nice to meet you. All right, here we go. As always, I want everybody to be kind. It's a tough world out there. It really is. It's a hustle. You can get frustrated real fast. You don't have to take a lot of crap from people, but you don't have to be an ass either. Find that happy medium. Think before you bark, taking it from one who knows, and just take a breath. All right? Be thankful that you're here. I'm thankful you're here. And I'll be here every Wednesday, like clockwork, God willing. My name is Peter G. You're watching Life with Peter G, The Peter G Show. And as always, I love you guys. And peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorce tax.